Hey, Fantasy Bros. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Astrology channel. Thank you so much once again for tuning in. I wanted to do a deep dive today on tonight's Monday night game. This might help you guys out with making some intelligent decisions in your parlays, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments about parlays and those types of things, DFS. Type picks. I've been avoiding talking about that on this channel for a while because I live in Arizona. You see, as the hat says, Arizona. So I haven't been able to really participate as extensively as I would have liked. I've been praying for FanDuel and DraftKings, all those guys to come into Arizona, and sure enough, those prayers have been answered. We can now play in the great state of Arizona. So definitely excited about that. I had a really good week one. I won all of my head-to-head matchups, 15 out of 15 head-to-head matchups. And I'm just getting warmed up, just doing little $2 bets just to see if I can actually pull out any extra cash. I won about, I'm in the green this week, so I'm happy about that. Week one was not very surprising to me at all. Pretty much saw just about everything that happened. Didn't surprise. So maybe one of the more surprising elements, Jamar Chase, actually having a lot of success. I was getting pretty cold on him. I was listening to all that talk about him failing, and we see that got thrown out the window real quick. So one of the little things I could think of that was a surprise this week. But everything else was pretty straightforward, which is surprising in and of itself because usually week one has all these weird factors occur. So kind of happy to see that. But let's get into the bulk of this video here, guys. Remember, I'm using astrology to get deeper insight into how matchups are going to play out. And also, I'm using PFF grades. So if you can see on my board here, okay, we have PFF grades for every single player on the Ravens offense. This is on the bottom is all Ravens offense, and you have on the top is all Raiders defense. Now, guys, I'm going to back up so you can see the whole picture. Okay, I put their signs, I put their names there, and I put their signs there as well. You can see each position is labeled. Each sign is under the name. Okay, so if you're into astrology and you understand how astrology works, we can always refer back to this to begin identifying even deeper patterns than what we would be able to see otherwise. Okay, so this is a really interesting board. I always encourage people to keep things as general as possible. Okay, if you keep things simple, you keep things general. You know, when you look at things under a microscope, it can be helpful, but it can also be distracting from the big picture. And the big picture says this, okay? The big picture is that Ravens are definitely overmatching the Raiders pretty badly, okay? Across the board here, if we're looking at PFF grades, their wide receivers are outmatching the cornerbacks. And the offensive line, predominantly, especially the right side of the offensive line, is really overmatching the Raiders' defense here, okay? So another really general tip, Tyson Williams has way more experience than all of the running backs in that backfield. So if we're taking over on Tyson Williams, I think there's a little bit more intelligence to taking the overs on Tyson Williams this week. Okay, now Lamar Jackson, he is a bit of a more of a questionable. Are we going to take his over or under in the passing and running? And I'll explain why. Okay, if you look at Denzel Perriman, okay, really good middle linebacker they picked up from Carolina. He's got an 83.3 PFF grade, guys. That's a super high PFF grade. This Perriman guy is probably going to be in spy on Jackson a lot. Okay, so if anybody is the man for the job as far as spying Lamar Jackson, it's going to be Denzel Perriman. He could really limit Lamar Jackson's running this week. Okay, so keep your eye out for a more limited running production from Lamar, and also a more Now, this is where astrology is going to come into favor more than what the PFF grades can give us. These two guys here on the cornerback, you got Trayvon Mullen and you got Casey Hayward Jr. They got from the Chargers, okay? Not the best PFF grades for these guys, but they are Virgos, okay? And Virgos are against two Geminis. Guys, Virgos, Earth is in the unconscious of air, okay? So Earth is going to have a big advantage in a physical matchup. These guys, Earth is designed to go to air. Air is designed to move away from Earth. So really, guys, these Virgos are a super strong placement in this overall mapping, okay? Especially with Lamar Jackson as a Capricorn, because they're all Earth signs, okay? They're all Earth signs, and so these DBs are potentially going to be able to read this quarterback like a book. Also, they are mutable signs, okay? So mutable is in the unconscious of Cardinal, right? It's behind it on the astrological wheel. So we know that these guys are reading these guys, but Capricorns aren't necessarily reading these guys as well. So Virgos are kind of in the blind spot of Capricorn. Okay, so these cornerbacks, astrologically speaking, even though they're PFF grade, I expect them to play a lot better than their grade. So if we take the under on Lamar Jackson, there's some intelligence to that bet. Now, we do have to consider here Marquise Brown, Sammy Watkins, they're big play guys, okay? And you've got a big time, Jonathan Abram is pretty much, PFF is saying he's costing these guys. You've got a free safety, you've got a rookie, okay? If you guys know who Trayvon Morig out of TCU is, really highly touted rookie. He fell quite a bit longer in the draft than people were expecting. So Raiders got a really good deal with this Trayvon Morig, okay? And as a Gemini, but I expect these safeties to be getting burnt, okay? Not the type, Jonathan Abram, maybe more you bring him in the box and you try to stop Tyson Williams here. So a lot of factors are pointing to a big, big game for Tyson Williams. And so you could take the over on Lamar Jackson, or you could take the under on Lamar Jackson, and both have some intelligence to that bet. So when we're switching up on the parlays, you want to diversify your parlay, right? So that's how I do it. I bet many into the multiple parlay to really balance those deep odd bets that you can get, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. If we're looking a little bit more into the offensive lineman and the tight end, once again, guys, I've said this in the past, Mark Andrews as a Virgo and Lamar Jackson as a Capricorn. No wonder why he favors Mark Andrews. They're both earth signs, okay? And we've got the same thing happening with Devin Duvernay. Don't be surprised to see Devin Duvernay be the actually emerging wide receiver from these corps, okay? I've been warning about him for a while. He's also a Virgo. They're both earth. They should have really good chemistry. So he's a nice sleeper pick, Devin Duvernay, maybe for the over. And so Mark Andrews should be able to make pretty quick work of a lot of these guys. Moving into the offensive line, the Ravens have a huge advantage in the offensive line over the defense. Maybe the only one here, I believe that's a Quentin Jefferson as their left defensive tackle. He is matched astrologically really well, and he has a significantly better PFF grade, okay, than I think it's Tyree Phillips here at the left guard position. So I expect the left side of the line to not be as strong. If I was the Ravens and I'm a game planner, I'm running to the right side of the line more often than not. So this is what I have. This is a deep dive, guys, trying to help you guys out with parlays and different little things like that. Let me know if you're into it or you want to know just pure fantasy football, whatever you think you want to see. Hope you guys have success in your leagues this week, and I'll back up so you can see, okay? that's what we got. I'll be doing waiver ads and buy low ads for trades and that type of thing in the coming days. Maybe even I'll do a couple videos a day. I don't know. Got a lot of content to get up on. And so let me know what you guys think, and peace.